Hello and welcome. This is Jim Coffin with Rankin Technical College. This video is a quick introduction to the Node.js. So let's get started here. So Node.js is a powerful JavaScript runtime environment. So Node has become a cornerstone of modern web development, empowering developers to build scalable and high-performance applications using a language they already know is JavaScript. So what is actually Node.js? It's a core. Node.js is a JavaScript runtime environment built on Chrome's V8 JavaScript engine. Think of a way to execute JavaScript outside of the browser. Okay, the Chrome V8 JavaScript engine was a project called Chromium that Google actually made open source. And what that means is they provided it to the community, so anybody can take that project, the Chromium project, they can build on top of it. Okay, and some actually other browsers have built on top of it as well, besides just Chrome. But it is what Node actually uses under the hood to run your JavaScript as well. Okay, so traditionally, JavaScript was primarily used from the front end web development, okay, running within the user's browser to handle interactivity and dynamic content. Node.js changed this by allowing developers to use JavaScript for server side scripting, command line tools, and even desktop applications. Okay. So it just kind of added some additional capabilities there. So how does it work? So the idea of single thread, imagine if Node.js has only one main worker thread to execute your JavaScript code, it would handle tasks one by one in sequence of this main thread. Okay, so think of this. Let's compare it. Let's use an example here. Let's compare that to say like a waiter in a busy restaurant. Okay, now a waiter is not going to take an order from a table, right? Take the order from the table, go to the kitchen, put in the order, and just sit there and wait for that to be done before he does anything else, right? There's going to be other people coming in. There's going to be other tables. There's going to be other tasks that waiter like has to get drinks and maybe get a salad or other things that isn't handled within the kitchen itself. So that would be like single threaded, where the waiter would actually take an order, go to the kitchen, put it in, wait for it to be done, and that's not how it works. That's not very efficient, right? An efficient way is that a waiter can take the order, okay, turn in the order, and then it's going to go ahead and get other drinks. Maybe go take other orders at other tables, right? So it's in a much more efficient way, okay? And that's the whole idea here about non-blocking I/O. Okay, so when Node needs to do something slow, like reading a file or querying a database, okay, it starts that task, okay, but it doesn't wait for it to finish. It immediately moves on to the next instruction, okay? It gets a notification later when the slower task is complete. This keeps the single thread from getting stuck waiting, okay? So Node does have a main thread, right? It does have a main thread, but it also allows for other things to happen, and then there's a callback, there's a notification, and then it will go ahead and go from there, right? So the event loop, this is like Node's manager or dispatcher, okay? It consistently checks if any of those slow non-blocking tasks have finished. When a task completes, the main thread is free. The event loop takes the finished task results and any associated code, callbacks, whatever, and gives it to the main thread to run, okay? This is how Node handles many operations concurrently without multiple threads, okay? And I do want to point out this idea, talking about multiple threads. When you ever have multiple threads, there's some programming languages that's their uh, basic way they handle things. They have multiple threads all the time, and multiple threads can become very. There could be issues with that, like concurrency issues. Well, one thread, you got this thread doing this thread's doing this, and sometimes you have what's called concurrency issues, where things get out of sync and things like that, right? Whereas with Node, it really has just one main worker thread. Okay, so it makes things a lot simpler. Okay. Node.js boasts a massive and vibrant ecosystem of reusable code packages available through a registry called NPM. Okay, this makes it incredibly easy for developers to find and integrate libraries and frameworks for various functionalities, accelerating development and reducing boilerplate code. So what it is, it provides kind of like extensions and little libraries that you can do some specific little tasks with, right? You can do some certain things. Let me just go grab that real quick. So NPM is the Node Package Manager. Okay, let's just go back down here to see about, just to learn a little bit here. So NPM is a company founded in 2014. It was acquired by GitHub in 2020. NPM is a critical point of the JavaScript community and helps support one of the largest developer ecosystems in the world. Okay, NPM is a package manager for Node.js. Okay, it was created in 2009 to help developers easily share package modules of code. Okay, the NPM registry is a public collection of packages of open source code for Node.js front-end web apps, mobile apps, robots, routers, etc. Okay. Now, a lot of this stuff here, let me just go. So here you can search for different packages. You know, I know what I'm searching for, just, because I've used things in the past, though, but you will learn as time goes on. So here is a package, which is a very popular package. Let's wait for this to finish. Okay. So here's NodeMon. NodeMon is a tool that helps developers to automatically restart Node applications. Okay, it's just kind of an extension, something that you can a module that you can access that can help you with your development. Okay, and as you can see, there's weekly downloads. There's, well, I don't know, I clicked something there, but there was over 9 million weekly downloads. So it's a very popular package. And, I just wanted to kind of point out, be careful with grabbing different things. We're going to be grabbing things just for things that we need. Okay. But, usually we're going to, select things that are very well known in that. Anybody can put a package out here. You could create your own Node packages and put these out there as well, right? And so sometimes you just don't want to grab anything. You want to grab things that are pretty reliable and has a big following. So it's from a security standpoint and a reliability standpoint, it's usually best to do that, right? Now, did want to mention, and we're going to worry about this later, though. A lot of these little node packages, this NPM registry, those little modules, you don't actually have to go to the website to do it. You actually go command line, right? You go in your command line and you can actually install right within like Visual Studio Code. Okay, and we'll learn that in subsequent videos how to do that. Okay. Okay, so who uses Node.js? Node.js has gained widespread adoption across various industries and is used by a diverse range of companies, including large tech companies, including like Netflix, LinkedIn, PayPal, Uber, Walmart, Microsoft, and many others. Okay, and they utilize Node.js for various parts of their infrastructure due to its scalability and performance. It's very performant and scalable. Okay. Thousands of transactions. You can do thousands of transactions a second. Okay. Startups, it's a rapid development capabilities and large open source community make it an attractive choice for startups looking to build and iterate quickly. Okay, so companies of all sizes, from small businesses to large enterprises. Node.js is used for building web servers, APIs, real-time applications, microservices, and much more. Okay, so why companies use JavaScript? Several compelling reasons drive companies to adopt Node.js, JavaScript everywhere, full stack development. So, for most people have learned, and back, recent history, it hasn't been that long ago that you only really could use JavaScript for within the browser, right? You only could use it for front end type technologies that was executed in the browser. But with the adoption, with the introduction of Node.js, now you can actually use JavaScript on a server, and there's other ways to do that, and so it's available. So you can do full stack development. Okay. So using JavaScript for both front end and back end allows for code sharing, a unified development team, and a smoother workflow. Developers can leverage their existing JavaScript skills across the entire application stack. So before, you could use JavaScript on the back end. They're the people. They usually had different developers doing front end and different developers doing back end, and that can still be the case even if they're using JavaScript. But you can just have all JavaScript developers doing both, right? So that can make things a little simpler. High performance and scalability. The non-blocking. We talk about non-blocking. How we don't just stop and wait with like that example of the waiter. It's non-blocking, so it'll go on to the next. The main thread will keep on going forward, and other things will happen while that main thread's continuing on, right? So the non-blocking event-driven architecture enables Node.js applications to handle a large number of concurrent connections with minimal resource consumption, making them highly scalable. Okay, real-time applications. Node.js is exceptionally well suited for building real-time applications like chat applications, online gaming platforms, and collaborative tools due to its efficient handling of persistent connections. Okay, which persistent connections are called WebSockets. Okay, large and active community. A vast and active JS community contributes to a wealth of open source libraries, frameworks, and tools, providing developers with readily available solutions and support. Other reason companies use JS: rapid development, NPM, which is Node Package Manager, and the abundance of reusable packages significantly speed up the development process, allowing teams to build and deploy applications faster. Okay. Microservice architecture, and what that is instead of building one big monolith application, there's one big large application. You build like certain little services. Here's this one service that does one thing. Here's this other service that does this other thing, right? And they all kind of work together, right? It's kind of called a microservice architecture, right? Each service has its own little function, right? So Node.js' lightweight nature makes it a popular choice for building microservices, allowing for modular and independently deployable application components. Cost effective. The ability to use a single language across the stack and the efficiency of the event-driven model can contribute to a lower development and infrastructure cost. So in conclusion, Node.js is a powerful and versatile JavaScript runtime environment that has revolutionized web development. Its non-blocking I/O model, event loop, and vast ecosystem make it an excellent choice for building scalable, high-performance, and real-time applications. The ability to leverage JavaScript across the entire stack provides a significant advantage in terms of development efficiency and team collaboration, making it a key technology in modern software landscape. So one more thing I wanted to do here real quick is to show you the main website for Node. And so this here is, actually this is kind of the main website here, but I went ahead and went to the introduction page. So here's the introduction page, and you can go through this. I'd spend a little time, reading time 3 minutes for this, read through this a little bit, okay? Gives you a little bit idea of understanding Node a little bit. We're going to go through this ourselves, though. But it always helps to kind of preview some things as well. But we will get into this a lot more as far as this documentation and start working on some coding examples in the next video. Thank you and have a great day.